Bienvenue, mes amis. Ah, on est là. C'est la fermeture de la Louvre et le perspective académique. Mais maintenant, parce que le Louvre, ça ferme, on doit emmener Kubi et Magical pour une finale fois parce qu'ils vont nous donner une award pour quelque chose de l'académie. On a juste regardé un stomping de les équipes. Donc, Kubi, donne-nous, je pense, notre premier award pour la
An
journée.
award? Wow. I can't believe that I get to present an award in front of the iconic lore with our good friend here
Oui.
helping us out. So our award, based on the last game, honestly, I'm really happy that I get to give this award because this is always a really difficult award for me to give. I never really know what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to coaching staffs. It's always really difficult to vote on which staff I think is the strongest. But fortunately for me, Golden Guardians Academy have made that very, very easy. As the Coach of the Year award, it's got to go to C9A. I've never seen a coach put up numbers like that. It's a no-brainer.
Ben, il est le coach! Comment... Il est le coach! Comment est-ce que... D'accord, un award comme ça pour le C9A.
No-brainer.
Ben, d'accord. Ben, est-ce qu'il va regarder le award? Est-ce qu'il va garder l'award?
The most confident I've ever felt voting for Coach of the Year. It's got to be C9A.
D'accord, Kubi. On a le coach de l'année. D'accord. Ah, Magical, qu'est-ce que tu as, mon ami?
All right, I'm just going to be quick about it. Let me see if I can get this going for you guys. Fastest game's over.
Ah!
That's true. That was a game done quick.
Mon ami! C'est vite, c'est précis, c'est magnifique. Oh! Ben ça, c'est l'art. Une seconde. La Louvre! Une seconde. Il faut mettre ce peinture dans la Louvre. Ah, ils vont venir prendre ton peinture. Ils vont m'emmener. Les amis, merci. C'était magnifique. Au revoir. Je dois aller fermer la Louvre. À bientôt. À bientôt.
Okay, I think that just means goodbye as well. I think it's just another form of goodbye. Bye, Frenchman. It's good to see you again. I still need subtitles for him.
I have no idea what's going on. I was told to throw something up on my screen, and I just grabbed the first thing I saw on Google Images, and, you know, fortunately, C9A went legendary at 8 minutes, so, you know, it's pretty easy.
Well, see, that's why mine was easier. Fastest game's over. It was done at level 1.
And that might have been the fastest halftime show we've had, too.
Yeah, you know what? Just boom, boom, boom. Just banging them out of the way. You know, we're getting close to the end of the night right there. I mean, it seems like Cloud9, or I don't even know, Golden Guardians maybe have somewhere to go, because that game was insanely fast. In fact, I'd like to do a stat on that game, too, to see if that was our fastest game that we've had so far.
Was. I've seen all the VODs for Academy, unless something crazy went on in Stream B today. That's got to be it.
Well,
yeah.
we don't know that. That's what I'm saying.
True.
You don't know yet. Maybe something did go crazy. We'll have to find that out later, but hopefully soon we'll be able to bring back our lovely host of Mazel to kind of help us out with this game. So if we got Mazel ready, let's bring him back in.
Oh, sorry. I don't know where that cup came from, guys. But what a game! I mean, that was fantastic. It seems like our game number ones are very
fantastic.
But what I was gonna say is for one side. Yeah. But I've already said that
Things
today.
were golden.
What is up with that?
Yeah, so that game. I mean, that's one where. I mean, if that's a scrim after that dive bot goes poorly, that's an FF. And so as C9. Sure. You can kind of throw the rest of that game out the window and just say, you know what kind of opener did we have and how can we try and fix that? Because I think for the side of C9, that is really where they struggled. And if they want to play, you know, this feasting jungler with Malice, which is the style that we expected them to have, and the style that C9 has been committing to with all these scaling comps, they have to be really careful about how they play their lanes, how they utilize their trinkets, and how they are able to execute their lane states. And when things go sideways when it comes to that, that's where things start to look ugly. And for the side of C9, they got killed level 1 in bot lane. The top lane dive failed. They got solo killed around the dragon. They lose the dragon flip. And C9A gets a triple. It gets another triple when you try and take him down when he has no sums. Game's over from there. So I think that C9 just has to maybe switch up this draft, and I know that they are switching up sides going into the next game, so I want to see how they are able to utilize that.
And I can appreciate the Hecarim for Malice, right? But I think, the safety relies in the members that have been playing, right, and have a little bit more experience, even though the team itself doesn't have experience together. So I think relying more so on King and Copy in this next game and not having those rough early pains come back to bite them a little bit is going to be key for C9 if they want to actually be able to take this game and even up this series. But that's a heck of a first game. That's a heck of a mental whomper there.
Honestly, it's such a tough loss. Like, it really isn't.
At the same time, right? Like, that's the comment. It's just interesting that
this is where I'm like, I don't even know if I'm fully going to index into try to set up King or Isles in this game. I just want to make sure that they're safe. I just want to make sure that they
just be safe
in the bot lane. Maybe get the Felios Thresh that bot lane.
Buy some life alert.
Exactly.
Or something. Make sure
Ezreal Karma should be safe. But yeah,
sometimes things happen. All right, sometimes things happen.
Yeah.
But that is particularly why looking at the mid lane for me is still so important. And looking at Ryoma versus Copy, I know you say maybe not so much King, maybe not so much Copy, but I still think this mid lane is a little bit, to say, the heartbeat of the game, because this stability in the mid lane is going to be what the teams can play off of.
And I think that one of the challenges that you have as a mid laner when your jungler is going to be feasting, and a lot of the times that means jungler taking time to take the Gromp or the Krugs, where you are pretty far away from that mid lane. I think we saw Copy struggle with that as he gave up that first kill on the Crash. Jungler wasn't there to hover. GGA sent 3 mid. Copy didn't respect that, ended up going down. That led to him getting solo boloed by Ryoma, and from there things just kind of collapsed. And that's something where I have really high expectations for Copy. I think that Copy has actually been one of the strongest mid laners that we have had in Academy so far. Even when C9 was dropping games, Copy was still playing very well with this Academy squad. He was number 1 on the ladder in the early season as well, if anyone put stock into that. And it is a meta where things are good for Copy. A lot of the champions that he has traditionally been really powerful at, thinking of Akali Silas, especially last patch, he plays really well. And I want to see if Copy can put together a better game, and if C9 can just put together a better game overall, because all the timers were broken once things went sour in the bot and mid lane, and that game ended up ending very quickly.
Well, that's why I was saying I just want to see them play more passively. I don't even want to see them have things that allow them or put them in a position where they feel forced to play aggressively. Just play passively. Use your competition to scale up, especially if you're going to have Malice farm up anyways. Don't try to make these risky plays, so that way you can get to that point when you feel powerful.
And I do want to say as well, I mean, for Ryoma, we've kind of been talking about how we feel like he's one of the stronger mid laners that we have had in Academy. His laning stats, at 14, he is second in gold differential at 14 at 232. And this is a team in Golden Guardians Academy that average being down at that same time. So I think it really speaks to how well Ryoma has been playing in this early season. And the fact that he got the counter pick there, I mean, the first gank timer is going to help, but what he did with that lead in that game, he won the game. Stixxay already won the game, but Ryoma also, showered some of his own kills and flashiness on top of that. So I was really excited for this mid lane matchup. I'm hoping that we get a much closer game in game 2. It's pretty impossible to have a game that's not it's got to be closer in some forms. I just hope we get something competitive, because I do want to see these two teams clash.
All I'm saying, no, we're not moving past. All I'm saying is, Cubby, you had doubts beginning of this series, and I
had doubts in Golden Guardians
because you're eating those words.
That's
dog.
fair.
Not dog, bear.
Also, wait, I'm just gonna interrupt you. Things can always get worse. That game was over 28 minutes.
No,
don't you put this bad juju
was
on
that game
Cloud9.
over at 20 minutes or 7 minutes? That's the question.
Well, no, it was over at 3 minutes.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true.
That is true.
So, kind of bouncing off of Mazel's point, obviously, I was critical about GGA's team identity to start off. I mean, I think that comp is something new for Golden Guardians Academy. I don't expect people to get level 1 kills in lane and snowball a game like that. And if we get a closer game, that's still something that I want to look out for, seeing if Golden Guardians can pull off different strats and execute upon them. I think it's something that they have struggled with, especially coordinating with their side lanes and some of the lane rotations that they had. It's the reason they dropped 0-3 in the amateur tournament to 100 Thieves Next, who is a fantastic team and would be top half of Academy at the moment. So I do want to clarify that, but also I think that I want to see Golden Guardians level up, because when I look at this roster, I see three people that played in LCS last year, and I mean Ryoma as well with Tony Top. I expect them to be stronger at the early part of the season. They haven't been convincing with that. That one was very convincing. Now I want to see if they can do that again in a closer match, hopefully.
Well, guys, we do have Champs Life ready to go, so take it away for our final game.
All right, thank you again, Lennon. Always good having you join us, but we are getting ready for Champion Select for our final game here on day 1 of week 3 for our spring split. Exciting to see how Cloud9 are going to approach this draft now that they are on the blue side, especially because this is a team that we get a new look on. We don't necessarily know the full strategies of this squad, since they had 3 subs before and finally are playing with the roster that they had put together at the very beginning.
I think that for C9's identity, blue side fits them rather well. As C9, a team that, given what we've seen, I know that they've played the majority of the season with 3 subs, but really seem to be opting for scaling in this early season and indexing towards, we want a full clear jungler. If we can play out the first 3 spawns to camps on a somewhat even basis, it's an easy win from there. And C9 were not able to do that in the first game. I want to see if they continue with that identity in the second, and if they are able to execute upon it in a stronger manner.
Zeri going to be the final ban?
All bans today, in the same spots, yeah.
Never going to be let through, but King gets his hands on that Jinx, not letting C9A have it this time around. Does not want to face the brunt of that once more, but that Aphelios that I had talked about before, that could have been an option maybe that King and Isles could play into the Jinx, is instead taken by C9A.
So this is curious, because if most teams, if I see Aphelios Sin as an opener, I am slamming Jarvan as a jungler. That's not a full clear jungler, not something that Malice indexes towards. So this is where we could see some of the stray away from traditional strategies. And with this Lulu, I'm curious if C9 decides to go for the hack room yet again here.
We'll see if that is going to be the option. Seeing the fact that there is still like ghosts available, instead of going for that is Udyr.
So they've been playing this on the LCS stage, a power clear and a stat check as well. I want to see if Malice is able to utilize this to impact the lanes a little bit more, as Karma's taken off the table, and GG are thinking about matching Enchantresses in the bot side. There was Seraphine Hover, but instead it will be the Thresh. So as we get into the next phase of draft, of course, both teams still looking for solo laners. I actually like where C9's at currently. I think that Udyr and the Thresh and Xin Zhao, with all the move speed you're going to get from the Lulu, you can navigate around those death sentences and power through the flays. And it is a way to stat check Thresh, who, outside of the Lantern, they've really nerfed the numbers of his kit so much where he's not a super impactful champion in terms of some of the upfront damage that Thresh used to do at support. So I think C9's in a much better position now. I expect Golden Guardians to take away a couple mid laners to protect a mid lane blind. I also want to see C9 continue to get rid of that Gwen. Even though Udyr is good at getting on top of Gwen, I just don't want to see Tony Top get his best champion.
But at the moment, it's going to be double up on mid lane.
I respect the Victor ban.
LeBlanc, Victor.
Victor's really good in what they're showing.
Right, I like these bans. So far, I have no complaints. Everything's looking good on both sides. Trying to answer that copy is a really good LeBlanc player. Making sure to take that Victor, which would be something that could kite back the Udyr. But the Gragas will be the final ban coming in from Tony Top, as opposed to doubling up on the mid lane ban.
So that tells me we're going to have a blind Renekton. And C9 fans would be happy to know. We are tracking the Renekton versus C9. They're actually 2-1 against the champion, as 100 Thieves played it in both of their games up against C9 and lost both. And this Gragas, Tony Top's next best blind, is Renekton, but they actually didn't ban Gwen. Now, like I said, Gwen, not great into Udyr, as Udyr just gets to pretty much sprint into Gwen's face and chase her down. We'll see if Tony decides to pick up the Gwen here. It is his best champion. The Gragas ban tells me that they wanted Renekton. We're expecting a Gwen ban, but now that Gwen's up, they have a choice.
They do, and instead of going for Gwen, they go for Syndra.
All
I was
right.
kind of curious to see. I was expecting to see
My bad.
this as opposed to going for Gwen, only because I feel like you hit the nail on the head with talking about the problems Gwen has going into Udyr. They'd really like to see what the matchup's going to be top lane before they'd even want to consider having that Gwen with the fact that they have to contend against an Udyr.
I don't like Syndra into Lulu Udyr. I feel like there's no way you one-shot people, and it's about buying space for Aphelios. So, gonna be another Stixxay game. Copies Rise coming through now. This is a great way to set up on the mid lane, as the empowered Rune Prison plus a ghosting Udyr gonna make things very scary for Ryoma Syndra.
And I also like the ability to move around the map. That's something that I will always highlight with Copy. I think he has some of the best movements with trying to help out his side lanes. And a lot of mid laners could really try to see if they can go and copy that. With the final pick being this Darshan Akshan again, trying to be able to win out in the top lane. I want to see what Tony Top does to answer this, now that he gets the counter matchup.
So, Jax, you can dodge out on the Udyr stun, and they do have 3 auto attack-based champions that would be empowered by Lulu. I don't know the lane matchup, but I can see the theory in selecting it, and of course, it is comfort for Tony Top. He has over a 70% win rate on this champion in his career, so it will be comfort the answer in the top lane for Tony. And I know we've been teasing the mid lane matchup a lot. I'm really curious about the top lane matchup, and I'm also curious, where does Malice make his first move on the map? Last game, it was 2 full clears into that dragon where he hit 6 and gave away the triple kill to Stixxay. This game on the Udyr, I think that he has the power to have a big impact on lanes, especially that mid lane.
And especially after the 2 clears, right? I look at
I think
these
first
lanes.
clear you can do it.
You think so? Because I'm looking at these. It's like
You got Rise,
Thresh
baby.
spot lane.
Find the
Yeah,
flashes.
all right, respect. If that happens, that would be a really good play coming in from Cloud9. I actually do like that, but I'm looking at these lanes, and I feel like Golden Guardians, all they have to do is play passively. And this is something I wanted out of Cloud9 last time, and I even asked for them going into this game. Maybe a little bit different because they have that Udyr, and you talk about the Rise matchup that you can have, the follow-up you can provide to lock down Ryoma. But I still don't see the need to really push that issue too much.
Really? I think if GG doesn't win by 15 minutes, this game's over. I really like the scaling of C9. They have...
Oh, no, I'm talking about for C9.
Oh,
I'm not talking...
yeah, okay. Yeah,
I wasn't talking about for GG. I was talking about for C9.
I was like, for Golden Guardians, I was like, no, these guys got to hit their timers hard.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I completely agree with you there. I'm saying for Cloud9.
Yes.
It's just, I don't see them needing to really push that. So you could just have the Udyr full clear.
This is true. But, hey, you know what? If you get positive trades of sums, always can be helpful. And for C9, I'm interested because they're really the only team that is picking Udyr. Of course, the lock-in, they did win the early game very hard in that EG Game 3. Weren't able to cash in the full dub, though. Gonna have to see if Malice and C9 Academy have better luck against GGA.
As we load up onto the Rift, our final game here. It is Week 3, Day 1, continuing to reiterate that of our 2022 Spring Split. Cloud9 Academy, with their full roster, they might not have been able to do much in Game 1, but Game 2, I like what they have brought to the table to try to contend against Golden Guardians Academy.
And for C9, it's really all about just getting off to a better start this game. I think that given what happened level 1 bot lane, it broke all the timers that C9 were looking to hit with their scaling comp. And they did not respond or adapt well enough to get the win against Golden Guardians Academy. This game, they don't lose bot lane level 1. They shouldn't get all in and die. So I think from there, I want to see if the theory that they have put together and how they can play out these first couple clears, if they can get Malice through where we expect him to power farm, that's where things get really scary for the side of Golden Guardians Academy, because they get outscaled quickly. There is no way for them to get through this Udyr. And, oh boy.
Oh, well, here's that level 1. You said that wasn't going to happen. I don't know. Isles had to flash away, and with Stixxay burning to the Ignite himself, lock in the alcove. Those damage rockets coming in from King really hurting Stixxay, but he should be able to heal up with the help of the red gun.
Isles no sums. This will give Iconic a place to attack, and a little bit different this game. We do have mirrored clears. So Golden Guardians Academy will have Xin Zhao pathing towards bot, whereas Udyr full clearing towards the top side. This means that GG, if they are able to freeze this wave in front of the turret, Isles could be in trouble with no sums.
Especially if they're going to continue to push for that level 2 advantage over Stixxay and Chime. You got to play very cautiously. They know Iconic is on the top half of the map. Malice was able to put a ward into the chickens, and so they have vision, they have control, at least with the knowledge. If they're not playing too passively and they're playing a little too far forward, not giving the respect necessary to Iconic, that could be devastating.
Iconic's going for the fastest clear to bot as well, as he has skipped over both the Wolves, the Blue, and the Krugs, taking the Gromp, making sure that he's at the highest health possible. Now, there is a trinket in the brush for C9, but Chime can do a Lantern Flash gank, and I'm curious if they end up going for this.
Look where he's positioned.
Yep.
That is exactly what they're going for. No flash on Isles. Wind becomes lightning on top of him with a 3 talent strike to knock him up in the air and the pull back in with a cleanse away. But they should be able to pick up the first blood for C9A second time in a row.
Very well done by Golden Guardians Academy, and I love how C9A and Chime are making that lane volatile, because they know they have their jungler in the back pocket. They know that Malice is pathing towards the top side. They end up cashing in on the pathing. Good team play coming out from GGA.
Really nicely done there to make sure they can pick up that kill, and you take a look at the replay, it's exactly as you had called it in the first place.
Now as we return to live, Malice has taken that top crab for himself. He's now sprinting towards the top side. Tony Top, though, should be able to pick up the majority of this wave. I think he's going for Iconic's Krugs.
I like that play, honestly, from Malice. Just continue to power farm into this game, because you're not really wanting to gank anyways. You want to kind of power farm to keep scaling up.
Now, if Tony does burn the dodge before Malice is spotted, there could be an opportunity for C9 to dive, but I believe Tony spotted one of the Krugs there from Malice.
So too.
And this enables GG
Rinse
to
and
go
repeat.
for Isles again.
Looking for
Nice
him, not
sidestep.
going to be able to get the Wind Becomes Lightning, but who needs it? You got a death sentence on a King who doesn't have summoners either.
GGA on the attack. C9 cannot respond as it's 3 camps for Malice, but 2 kills over to the bot side of Golden Guardians as we see the replay. The Hex Flash from Chime into the Lantern. Who needs Flay, man? All Chime needs is a death sentence, and that's netted 2 kills already for the GGA bot side.
You can even see just how the pathing from King and Isles was in that replay. They're like, we can step up. Oh, nope, never mind, we can't.
And when you are playing with a jungler that's full clearing, and everyone on the side of Golden Guardians knows this, I think that is something where by not switching up your jungle pathing, GGA is playing like they expect Malice to be taking every camp available to them, and this is what is allowing GG to play around this so aggressively, is they're really punishing the windows and the timers that they can. And I want to see if they can continue to attack bot side as Isles. That flash is still down. King, still no summoners. Iconic is still keeping his pathing from top to bot. So I want to see them continue to hit this timer.
As do I. I want them to completely bully poor King and Isles in the spot lane. Make them suffer in this bot lane for daring to step up. How dare they think they can lane?
Malice is now wrapping up that second full clear. Has the early plated steel caps, and this is Ghost plus Lethal Tempo, which for the Udyr in the dueling and the 1v1s makes Udyr incredibly powerful. So if Iconic is spotted alone by Malice, it will be a lot of trouble, and Malice looks to be making the first move on the map as Akshan has cleared out the control ward on the top side. Malice is going for the respawn of the Krugs and looking to attack Tony Top under his turret as well.
I think they want to bait out that Counter-Strike, as you had talked about before, the one tool that can actually make it so this dive won't be successful. Now that it's popped, they can look for it, but instead, Malice turns his attention onto the Krugs.
Yeah, Darshan needs to get the wave in, and I think Tony is intelligently reading this as his jungler is taking Dragon. They don't spot Malice. He knows that he could be in trouble. The Spidey senses are tingling, and there is the Udyr.
Nice ward from Tony Top, as you said, playing this one wisely. Reading the play attempted. There's the Counter-Strike to dodge away from the bear stance to get the stun on the Malice as well. You might lose a plate or two in the top lane, but with how much his team is winning out in this bot lane, doesn't matter at all.
I do like the trade, though, from C9, as Darshan has been able to secure one plate and is actually pulling this next wave. Okay, he's going to kill it now. But is managing to deny a lot of resources from the Jax as GG now forced to respond. Copy's here.
The Realm Warp too from Copy. Iconic. The Ignite's ticking on top of him. Zap connects. They got the slow, but Ryoma shows up out of nowhere.
Malice.
RKO with the nice stun too. Double
Malice.
work coming in from the Gravitum. Malice might be able to chase someone down, but they're going to be able to
This
get the flash
Udyr's
out of Ryoma. No mana for Ryoma to be able to get a Scatter of the Weak, so they have the back out of there. They already succeeded in their dive.
Really close for C9. when it came to turning that play on GGA, but they execute fast enough in time for Malice to at least show at the fight, but not able to get anything in return. Importantly enough, King is able to still pick up these waves, so it's not a doomsday scenario for C9. And I'm glad that they are showing some more fight when it comes to these plays from GGA coming in.
But we take a look at this replay. I mean, it is a nice rotation from Copy to make sure they don't lose too much. But Ryoma also roaming there is kind of what makes it so they at least get an advantage for Golden Guardians.
That is now flash burned by Ryoma. So maybe Copy and Malice are able to set up something around mid. Copy doesn't have flash, so can't set up the rune prison. And meanwhile, we see Darshan building up a slow push into Tony top on this side of the map. Malice's clear is about to complete. Rift Herald is also now on the table as we see Chime working his way to hover. Ryoma trying to crash this wave mid. Looks like neither team looking to execute upon Rift Herald quite yet, but that slow push from Darshan, if he's able to sync up that crash with Malice getting on the Rift Herald, could make it really difficult for Golden Guardians to respond.
See, I want to go back to Chime right here. Chime likes to make sure we all know the Bard is not his...
Trick.
He's the Thresh one trick. And you can see how he is with this, how much he's able to utilize these lanterns for the repositioning to find these fights, even getting Iconic in here consistently. Look at this. He's just standing far forward, threatening like, oh yeah, there's someone behind me. Do you take the bluff?
And Malice isn't on the Rift Herald. He actually had to base after that Gromp, and he is now sprinting towards bot side. That was on a ward, so this is spotted by GGA, and I think that's why Iconic and Chime aren't fully committing, as they know that Malice could be here to hover. They still deny some creeps, get a plate for C9A, but I like GGA showing a bit of restraint there as Malice's pathing was spotted.
It was a nice play from GGA, because even if you don't necessarily get the kills, you still get the plates, as you had talked about. You're getting more gold into C9A's pocket on this Aphelios, getting another lead for this marksman.
We saw what he could do in the last game. Not quite as many tools to make sure... He doesn't have an Orianna Lulu this time, but still is pretty far ahead as Coach of the Year, looking to push things again in this one. And Iconic actually looking to make a play on Copy, as he's going to get spotted and caught out as he walks to the lane. Good play.
Right into the hands of Iconic. Gets a lot of movement speed when becomes lightning, just to poke at Copy and make it so that he can't deny this play going over to Ryoma.
Copy does have teleport up here shortly, and so I don't think Iconic can just straight up start Rift Herald off of that. And because Iconic was spotted, Malice is actually invading and taking his blue buff. And because that was spotted on a control ward, this will now enable Iconic to start up the Rift Herald.
Well, and unlike the previous game, where it was just bot lane getting completely out of control and snowballing insanely, we're seeing that there's a lot more patience in Malice. He's been farming up for days here in this jungle.
C9A's in big trouble.
Looking for this play on a C9A. Lantern is available. The damage was able to turn it for a 1-against-1.
The 3-person ultimate. Okay, at least he's able to trade out, but still, that's another move from Malice that goes well. Yes, they lose out on the Rift Herald, but at least they remove C9A from the Rift.
Exactly. You're getting rid of the marksman. You're even getting a little bit of gold for Malice here as he's continuing to farm up like a madman, getting these advantages, even if it's only minor, and it's not like you weren't losing something in the bot lane for that play. It's better than completely bleeding out.
A little bit of a do-si-do. Unlucky timing from Chime as C9A. Props. I mean, that's a big ultimate that connects as... I wasn't expecting that damage, and neither was Isles. As at least he manages to get the 1-for-1, but still a positive play for C9.
I don't even think King was expecting that damage, because he got low in that fight, too. Right now, Tony looking for the 1-for-1, trying to see what he can get against Darshan. Darshan, though, is kiting him back this entire time. Tony Cop can't really chase this down, because we got to look at how this game is really playing out when it comes to CS, when it comes to the leads that people have. Darshan's got a massive lead over Tony Top at the moment.
A lot of that is because Malice is consistently pathing from bot to top, cycling out his camps. So Tony knows that he has to be very careful about the points that he overextends in that lane, or else he will get severely punished. And props to Tony. He has had a tough start to this year, but he has had a nice game. I know that he's down in CS, but he's been very respectful of Malice and has hit the right timers. And because of that, it's part of the reason that GGA is up, because he hasn't opened up those windows for C9 to respond on the top side of the map. And while he has been dodging out of those, his bot lane is just crushing.
And right there, Ryoma looked like he could have been in a little bit of trouble while the play was happening bot lane. But at least he was able to flash away from the rune prison that could have connected from Copy. That would have been death for Ryoma for sure.
Malice still trying to take away those Krugs, but Tony Top has spotted them, and Iconic might actually look to respond this time around.
Not going to be able to get these Krugs for free this time around. When becomes Lightning did not connect, but he had to flash forward with the audacious charge. Malice bypass towards the turret, just baiting it out, but 6A is going to be able to get the kill onto him as Darshan flashed away. Nice hook, Chime, double kill for 6A.
And it falls apart for C9. They don't respect the rotation. King is showing on that bot wave. They know that GGA reset off of that tower take. Malice and Darshan go for the Krugs at the wrong timer, and it gets turned upon them heavily.
And gotta praise Chime. This is why I was trying to bring up that he's the Thresh one trick. He likes to go by that as opposed to Bard, because you could see that in this play. Showing up, right place, right time, body blocking all that damage for Tony Top.
Ooh, the cancel on the dash from Darshan. That's a lucky one. Darshan didn't really have many other options out. But, hey, the fact that he took the onus upon himself, saw that angle with the flash. Good stuff from Chime. And this bot lane from GGA continues to crush in this best of 2.
4-1 on Aphelios. 0-0-5 from Chime. Pretty much just setting up his AD carry every time he possibly can as he gets more plates in top lane.
And GG looking for more. Iconic's in an awkward spot. Will have Lancer as Copy.
I don't know if you necessarily want to go for this. They both took it. It could have been risky.
Chime wasn't spotted. They could have reasonably assumed that Chime was up there, but if he was not, that would have been a free kill. So C9 they don't lose a ton going for that angle. Just this wave bot, which they're okay to seed. And C9, at least they're looking for more windows. I know that last game was so sideways that they really stopped any and all windows that they could have found. So it is good. This game, it's still a big lead for GG. But at least C9, they're still in this one, and they're looking for angles that they can create numbers advantages and try and fight their way back.
As they try to find those angles to fight back in this one, we're still seeing Malice power farming, trying to maintain that discrepancy between him and Iconic. All the while, he's not really gaining too much control because 6A and Chime have just shown up towards the top lane. All that free Krugs that he had gotten previously are completely null and void because Ryoma got a kill on you.
And you have the top lane's basing and Copy showing and bot wave, and so Malice being there is kind of weird and gets punished properly by the side of Golden Guardians.
They knew that Malice wanted the Krugs. The Krugs just spawned up. They're like, oh, yep, Malice is probably going to try to see if he can secure those again. So why not just go and kill him first?
Risky play does not pay off, as that will cost the top outer turret, as Golden Guardians continue to shrink the map around C9. And this is the portion of last game where we started to see Malice fall behind, because once these turrets go to the wayside, it opens up the angles for GG to try and get into the jungle of Malice and take away his own camps. They did a very good job of that in the last game, now that both sides are down. And mid-outer, of course, the most important one, still up, but Malice will start to lose access to some of his camps and start to lose that individual lead that he has been able to build up.
And then they had to transition those individual leads into team fights. And as you said, losing out on those leads with the team not necessarily having the cohesion, where Golden Guardians have played so many games together that they can just go for plays like this. King's barely alive on the other side. They could look for a potential dive, but they don't even need to because they've already forced King out of the fight.
Clutch sidestep on the scatter of the week there from King. That saved his life. And Golden Guardians still should find this third dragon as Iconic.
Root from Copy, but it's still just an attempted play here in mid lane. Darshan dodges away from the death sentence and Malice is in the wings, but King had to recall. He had to go back to base.
Malice is dead.
Yeah, he's just dead. He's just too far out. Golden Guardians capitalizing on the misposition coming in from Cloud9, and Isles has to get back towards his turret before he dies.
And that's the third dragon, as we have Infernal Soul on the Rift. Now Soul Point should be secured here for Golden Guardians Academy, as Malice now has gotten caught out twice. That lead not making an impact as Malice
gone.
Yeah, dies before the objective, and GG, that should be the mid outer turret as well off of this take.
But to me, I'm just looking at how this game is playing out. And while you had the leads in the bot lane for Golden Guardians, those are going to be big things. It's how they're playing as a team. You could tell all the practice they've gotten from playing in the Proving Grounds previously as a squad really is trouncing that of Cloud9, who've only had that single day of scrims to really try to work together as a squad.
You know, we could do some sick results-based analysis math where
Yeah.
we could say that 100X is better than 100A at the moment. Because, you know,
I mean, we
C9
could
beat
do
100A, GG beats C9, and GG lost to 100X. Boom.
All
They
right, so
told me not to do live math on air. Suck it. I just did it.
That's transitive property right
Yeah.
there. that's what it is. It's more like, what is that, geometry? God, it's been a long time
What?
since I've done that.
Okay, that's geometry transitive property. I don't think that's the right word, but I think the right word that we're looking for here
Oh,
is...
the theorems, man. Don't you remember back, what was that, middle school?
I mean, it's a proof that I just threw out there. I think that's what
Yeah.
you're looking for. And
That's the one. That's
so far,
look, I'm older than you. Just because
I know.
people think it's the other way, I'm actually older than you.
so far, the proof of concept for C9, not exactly working out, as this is the second game of the series. I know that they've only have 1 day of practice under their belts, so I do want to kind of curb our expectations for this week. But unfortunately for C9, that lack of practice with this 5-man roster has been showing in the series, and Golden Guardians, with the second Rift Herald, now looking to pressure the mid inhibitor turret.
And there's going to be the blast going over. A good sidestep from King again to dodge away from that scatter of the week, but it was also that Golden Guardians could just take the turret. It's now, are you going to get a solo kill? Nearly does. 6A over King. Had it not been for Isles, you would have died, but that's still going to be the inhibitor turret taken.
I think Iconic intelligently not going to drop
Malice?
that Rift, and now Malice.
Copy behind too, but nobody's there to back up Malice. He might be tanky, but he's not nearly enough to be able to survive. As Tony Top's able to get the stun onto Copy that entire time, looking to see if they can follow up onto Copy. And Tony Top chasing this one down. He's got the Realm Warp out, but Iconic doesn't want to chase it down.
Iconic wants Malice's camps. Malice has taken too many of Iconic's camps. He wants revenge.
Pretty much just starving him out now, making sure that he feels the punishment that he had felt earlier. The hook from Chime blind on a Darshan. That was a nice hook, but they don't really need to follow that up because they got the Rift Herald right behind them.
They just want to take all the structures away from C9. I think that removing these, when you take too many structures too fast, it can open up pockets where C9 can freeze and make plays. But the way that you defeat that is by making team plays, and GG, they've been moving around the map, making team plays very well. I know that they have big CS deficits on the top side, but it doesn't matter when you're able to move your pieces around, find kills, take more standing gold.
Well, and that has been one of the successes we've seen out of Golden Guardians, is how they can really group up together as a squad. Think about even where the power has come in the past with the Diana Gonçalves combination from the team. Working together as a unit. They have really good shot calling when they all try to goon squad it up.
Golden Guardians Academy. The Goon Squad.
Golden Goons.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. The Goon Guardians, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something clever. I'm not good on the spot, but right now, Golden Guardians are good on the spot because they've got a good lead here. They got 7,000 gold, 21 minutes into the game. Might not nearly be as fast as last game, but they've got full control over Cloud9.
And 1 minute until Soul is on the table for Golden Guardians. I think the Miracle team fight for C9, fortunately for them, they do have access to all summoners. Stixay and Tony Top don't have flash. So I want to see if C9 are able to commit and potentially find one of those two caught out as Malice. Secret Agent.
So, there he is, going to be able to get the stun on Stixay. But again, where's your team? You don't have the backup to make that kind of play.
And that's Soul over to the side of GGA.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking like it's game again here pretty early on with an Infernal Soul to back up Golden Guardians. Hex flash over the wall with the double root from the Gravitum. Even if Copy's able to get the flash over the wall, it's Iconic with the flank. Realm Warp out of there
nice.
to be... Oh, no! Isles didn't take it! He has to use Wild Growth on himself, and that's a 7th kill for Stixay with more going over to Ryoma.
Well, game 2 I said that things can't be as one-sided as Game 1, and technically, Matt Magical, I was correct. But Golden Guardians certainly wanted to make that close, as this is going to be the Soul, most likely the Baron, and eventually the game for GGA as C9. I know that a lot of people had high expectations for this Academy roster. C9, one of the more interesting teams and orgs that we have in the LCS this year, given the different approach. The 1 day of practice doesn't seem to be enough for them in this one, which I think is a fair thing. And a good sign, considering that GGA is the team that we have the most knowledge on and have seen the most public play and tape on. And props to GGA. They've been having a really good series today.
That they have, and you can take a look at this replay. That is the second time Chime's been able to get away with that exact same Hex Flash.
It's just a Hex Flash tip, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Easy
Hex Flash
peasy.
is OP. It's OP. I think it's one of my favorite runes in the game.
Guys been having a good time with that, as fortunately for the side of C9, the comps that set up to help Malice go Burr have not paid off, and now King, goodbye.
Do I even need to say anything? Just continue.
Yeah, Iconic now on Darshan. Chime, okay. Doesn't connect.
And a TP in. They're just looking for the game.
Yeah, they want the
Malice and Copy are both top lane. Neither of them are even recalling. Only Malice now is recalling.
They got the bounty.
Copy's still there. They've got the bounty, I guess, but at what cost? When Isles dies immediately, because 6-A's 9-1 on Aphelios might not nearly be as bad as Jinx, but they have the damage still to boot. More gold, more kills, and this game has been over for a while. We knew that Golden Guardians was going to be able to take this one for quite some time. One final fight comes in from Copy, but he still dies to the double kill 6-A with King. He died at the very beginning. He got blown up by Golden Guardians, and once more he might just die here underneath his fountain. That damage from 6-A is absolutely absurd, but I think it's just going to be that the Nexus falls before they actually can pick up the kills.
That will be it. Golden Guardians Academy making the last series of the day pretty quick for everyone at home. And I know that for C9, I think that for some diehard C9 fans, it might be easy to look at the scoreboards and how those games went and be frustrated. I do just want to repeat one more time on air. This team had 1 day of practice. So take it easy on them. I am glad that we saw GGA smash, as I think that any team with 1 day of practice in Academy shouldn't be able to cleanly take games. And to the props of GGA, all the holes in C9's game plan and gameplay from that series, they were able to poke. They found every angle, every timer that they needed to get things ahead, and they did so very successfully.
I'm with you on that. It's when you see a team that's only had 1 day to really practice together as a squad, if they came in here and were just able to completely trounce Golden Guardians,
I'd be concerned.
I'd be concerned too.
Unless it was like an LCS team, I'd be concerned.
Right. And even then, you'd want there to still be a lot of practice for both teams to really show what they're fully capable of. And that's why we have to make sure that we're not going too hard on the Cloud9 Academy squad. Give them a little bit of breathing room.
Give them a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'd say even give them a week. You know, you can get practice over the weekend.
Or
try to really, or
NA greater than Korea.
Is this really Korea 9 though?
The Korea 9 roster came over. Big win for GGA. I'm just throwing it out there.
You know, maybe, or we still need more time. And I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to go, we need more time from Cloud9 before I really make a full judgment on them. But I do want to applaud Golden Guardians and how they're able to play this game. Because even if, you know, it's a team that hasn't had that much practice, you still want to see the other team, the team that's able to win, play cleanly. And that bot lane out of 6-A and Chime was really disgusting.
And for the side of GGA, I know that dropping that final for PG, not the way they wanted that one to go. I know that 100 next, a very strong team that we will all have our eyes on come Proving Grounds, given the fact that Sniper and many others are on that roster and playing really good league at the moment. But a good bounce back for GGA, who I still think are looking to find a team identity. I know that Stixay's a player coach that's playing for them. But hey, that identity of attacking bot in this series really worked out well for them. And they only had 2 deaths in those 2 games. So congrats to GGA on now throwing all the KDA stats that we had on players out the window and putting together an amazing 2-0 over C9. Very dominant.
Yep, just threw the notebook away because there's no reason to even keep it around anymore. The notes are ruined. Everything's gone out the window. I mean, with Golden Guardians, we have, thankfully, enough stats of them that I don't think these 2 games are really going to throw things out. I mean, they will be outliers, but it's not going to fully destroy the stats that we've developed on them.
Yeah, I mean, we're okay with some outliers, and I think that for GGA now moving to 6-4, that's big for them in the standings. It is Academy. What we expect with all the best of 2s and the fact that every team that we have does play 36 games throughout the spring split. There's a lot of movement in the standings and a lot of opportunity to go up or down. We had a big bunch of teams between 5-3 and 4-4 going into the day, and props to GGA bouncing back from that loss in the finals on Tuesday, able to have a dominant 2-0 over C9 and trying to find their foothold in this season, as I think that team identity they're putting together definitely looked like things are coming together with the way that Iconic and Chime were willing to work together to smash that bottom lane in both these games. A really good look and something that we've seen a couple times from GGA, but it's mostly been from the play of C9A and Chime as a duo, not the teamwork from Chime and Iconic like we saw in these 2 today. So that is a good sign for the side of Golden Guardians Academy.
Yeah, and we'll have to keep our eyes on them once Violet comes in as well and plays for the team. But for now, we're going to toss it a break. We're hopefully be able to get our interview all set up, so just stick around. Hopefully it won't be too long.
I'm going to take this real quick. I'll be right back. I know that we have to close up shop.
Welcome back, everyone, and I am here with the mid laner from the Golden Guardians Academy squad who just smashed Cloud9 Academy in 2 games back-to-back. The 100 Thieves series must have lit a fire under you guys. What's up with that? What was up with today? How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty surprised. I thought they were gonna show a better fight, but I guess not.
Y'all came out swinging for sure. It's a little bit hard to fight back. Now, for you guys, communication-wise, what are these games like? I mean, they are definitely like Scrib-style games. Like, what is the communication like? Are you guys trying to take it seriously, at least in the communication breakdown, or is it just all over the place?
I mean, I feel like our communication is like getting better. I mean, it's something you always kind of work on as a team, and I feel like, I mean, today it was kind of hard to tell because it was like the game was kind of over in like the first to be honest, like the first 8 minutes. I felt like they were kind of. I just feel like they weren't doing the right thing, so it kind of felt bad. But I mean, as long as we're working on what we're working on, should be good.
Yeah, exactly. Always keeping your mindset in the right position, especially. But I gotta ask about that mid lane matchup. What are your thoughts on Copy? Maybe not this game and this series in particular, but on his growth. He had nothing but praises for you on his side of it. So I kind of want to get your thoughts on his transcendence, at least this far.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy for him. I feel like he's gone a long way since 100 next, I believe. I scrimmed against him a couple times from memory on 100, and I felt like he's been improving. He also hit rank 1 this season, so props to him. I thought he was always like a pretty good player. So just unfortunate today.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I like to hear it. Now, Ryoma, 3 weeks in. How are you feeling? It's been a lot of games for you guys, but I just want to get your personal checkup. How are you as a player feeling?
Um, I guess for me, it's been pretty stressful. I guess I've been playing a lot this season, just trying to make sure I've been pumping out a lot of solo queue, but it feels like it's not like the best because I guess you kind of feel like you're just playing a bit too much, and sometimes you can get in your own head, and you think you're trying your best, but there's always stuff you can be doing that is still beneficial as a player. And yeah, I took a step back, and I felt like I feel better about myself, just feeling like just trying to make sure I'm focusing on the right things rather than focusing on other stuff.
Yeah, for sure. You got to make sure your head is at the right space and make sure that you're focusing on things that you need to, especially. But now, as starting to become a veteran presence in the academy scene, how has it been like, and what is your role on the team thus far?
I mean, I guess still figuring it out. Just I feel like everyone does their own part mostly. I feel like it's hard to just have one sole. I mean, whatever you want to call it, probably like short call, I guess. But like, I think everyone's doing like their part, and I think it's pretty good. I feel like there's a lot of. I guess we're kind of versatile, at least from the way it looked today, and I was pretty happy about that. I feel like our drafts were just at least game 1. It just felt a lot better. I just felt like coming into it, I was just like, I think we already won. So, I feel like as long as we're all just playing our part, everything is chill.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as everything's working in tandem. Now, speaking of the team a little bit more, do you guys do any exercises, any team bonding experiences? Do you have anything fun that you guys get to take part in?
I think we went out for team dinner one time. It was pretty fun. Went to have some hot pot, I believe. Yeah, hot pot, and yeah, it was pretty good. I think that's the only thing we've done so far since we've been grinding
Might need
our
to
asses
message
off.
you for the recommendation. Yeah, for sure. You gotta take a little bit of time to yourself and make sure everybody's on the same page for sure. I got a little personal question for you, Ryoma. Do you keep up with old FBI anymore? I know you guys used to be pretty good friends over on 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, I always talk to him here and there. I mean, I guess you can say we talk a lot. Occasionally we go out a lot as well when he's not too busy. But LCS is starting, so I'm sure he's going to be starting to get busy. But we still talk like pretty often.
That makes me happy, man. Got to keep those friendships strong. All right, last question, guy. I'll stop berating you over here. What's your favorite animal, man? What you got? I'm making a tier list, and we'll see how high you rank.
I mean, as of lately, I've liked the otter. I feel like they're really cute, and
Ooh.
yeah, I mean, I just
Are
like
you
seeing.
watching like the otter streams and stuff? If not, I can send you some. Okay.
Well, I've seen some
Perfect.
actually. Now that you said that, yeah, I've seen some, but not too
All right.
often. But like normally when I go to like a water park, SeaWorld type stuff, I saw them and I feel like they're pretty cute.
I like it. All right. Well, you got a very unique one. You're doing fine in the tier list, Ryoma. Seriously, congratulations on the
Thank
win.
you.
What an incredible win today, and definitely get ready for the games tomorrow.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Well, that is it for our interview, and now we are gonna go ahead and swipe on the casters, Cubby and Magical, to round out the day here, and be able to kind of hone us in, bring us back to center, if you will, after this rambunctious day, fellas. Because
I don't know. I
it was
feel like
a fun
after
one.
that series, like me and Matt Magical should probably start a true crime podcast because we definitely
yeah.
just witnessed a murder. But
Two murders.
yeah,
It
yeah,
is what it
two
is.
murders. But I do want to curb expectations on C9. I'm sure
Yeah.
that the community is going to be harsh on them, and I think that C9 have a big spotlight on them for this season. But once again, that team's on 1 day of practice, so
Right.
I'm looking
Yep.
forward to seeing how they look in the weeks to come. And I do not also want that to take away from the fact that GGA put up two of the most impressive games that we have seen in Academy so far as a big bounce back after losing the Proving Grounds finals.
Exactly that. It was an impressive performance all around from them, especially being like, you can say all you want about it being a screen game. Oh, they got the lead early, whatever. But you have to be able to pick up those opportunities when they come your way. So there is some skill in that avenue of it. But I want to go ahead and bring up the updated schedule for the day and talk a little bit through of what we got to see and maybe see if we get anything spicy on the other side.
I mean, all I was gonna add was that I feel like Golden Guardians chose to take out their rage from losing 3-0 on Cloud9. Yeah, they definitely were able to come back. But I like to see the schedule too of what we got going on tomorrow. We got more League of Legends action. It'll be exciting to see how everything's going to continue to pan out. I'm hoping for Cloud9's sake that we see a better performance out of them tomorrow. But the fact that they only have 1 day again to try to work on any mistakes they made today, I don't really expect to see too much growth until next week.
Yeah, and hopefully those will be coming across your screen here pretty soon. But it has been a very fun day. It's been really interesting because every first game of the series has seemingly been one-sided, right? It has been one-sided. But this is the first series we got where it was like 2 back-to-back. There was no mercy showed by Golden Guardians Academy. So I do believe we do not have that graphic. So I think we're going to go on to hopefully the schedule for tomorrow to get people prepped up for that one and be able to see a little bit of the games we got to come as we are done recapping today's games. And there they are in all their glory. Some seriously banger matchups. Like, I'm not going to lie. Tomorrow is insane.
Oh, that first one. CLG versus 100 Thieves. Ooh.
Yeah, that's where my eyes go towards immediately. I'm really looking forward to that one. Honestly, the rest of the matchups, I hope that for C9's sake, they have a better showing tomorrow, and maybe for our sanity as well. And then, honestly, I'm curious to see Golden Guardians Academy versus FlyQuest, as I know that GGA coming off of a hot victory over C9 today, but I thought FlyQuest they're starting to put together some slightly better game plans. And I know that they did get stomped by CLG, but CLG are head and shoulders above everyone else at the moment. Exactly. So I think that this is another good gauge to kind of see where both of these squads are at in the early season.
It's a really good moment to kind of capitalize week number 3, right? Like, this is when things should start coming together, so to speak, right? I mean, just now coming together for Cloud9, but right, you're starting to get a little bit of experience in the season and how the weekly routine is going to go. And that's when you start seeing in the strategies get locked in for these teams and CLG keep running away with everything.
I mean, honestly, I just got to look at this and we start off with a really hot one, and the one at the very end too, TSM versus Dignitas. I'm really excited because I feel like both teams, the burger flip teams, I look at both of them, how they're able to play.
The burger flip team.
I mean, really, that's just
Oh,
how
no.
I've seen them. Immortals Academy is the other one that I would consider that. So with them against Team Liquid should be interesting, but that's more of a showing to see how strong is Team Liquid. Will they be able to compare against CLG later on now that they've gotten their full
Yeah.
squad? Or is Immortals going to bounce back after having that 5-game slip up and then being able to take a game today?
Well, it's gonna be a fun day tomorrow for sure. I know I'm ready. It has been a very, very long day, fellas. You guys have had some excellent casting on the day. We've had some excellent games on the day, but that's gonna be it for our first day of week 3, fellas. So just wanna go ahead and say thank you to you guys for joining me for the entire day, dealing with all the craziness that goes along with Academy and the wonders that follow. But we'll have to check in with you tomorrow, same time, same place, and we'll see you then.